Grace and peace be with you. Hi, my name is Mark. I'm the pastor at Sycamore Creek in Potterville. I have a brief thought for you today. It's from Psalm 34. I'm working my way through Psalms in my devotions, and I have a tougher than you'd think question. Here's the question. Do you want God's blessing in your life? Do you want God's blessing in your life? Be careful how you answer that question, because I think most of us don't really live that way. You see, God blesses those who trust fully in God. God blesses those who don't really live for themselves, but who obey God and who follow God wherever God leads. And we see this in the Psalms. David often messed up, but he also kept coming back to God. God was his main thing. God was his joy. God was his treasure. From this Psalm, Psalm 34, we learn that if we really want to enjoy God and God's blessings, then we must seek God. We must seek God for our salvation. We must fear God, have an awe and respect for God, and we must walk in God's ways. Now, seeking God for salvation is recognizing that we can't save ourselves. We can't do it, so we are reliant on God's grace and God's mercy. That trust and hope in God, that leads us to take refuge in God during the inevitable difficulties of life. And while seeking God, we fear God, not as being scared of God, but having a reverent awe for the power and the might of God. We take refuge in God because of how awesome God is and how mighty. And through that all, we obey God, and all that leads to God's blessing, given to those who will share it with others. Share it with others. Praise is always best when it's shared. Blessing is always best when it's shared. Thank you, God, for the blessings we receive when we put our trust in God. We'll receive God's blessing. Grace and peace be with you.